As 2022 comes to a close, there is one question on our minds. What will Sonos bring us in 2023? Well, the rumour mill is back open for business, so let's share our predictions. But we've not forgotten about you guys. We put a poll on our Instagram and YouTube community and asked you what you want to see from Sonos next year, and this is the breakdown of what you all came back with. We received all sorts of responses, from Sonos Headphones, a new Sonos Play 3, remember that, Gem? And even a 50% sale. Nice try. So we've taken these on board and come up with 5 things that we think Sonos might bring us next year, / some of the things that we all want to see next year. But just before we get into the juicy stuff, I just want to make a big disclaimer and remind you all that anything that we mention in this video is purely our own speculation and doesn't actually represent what we are going to see from Sonos in 2023. We've just collated the rumors and evidence that's currently accessible on the internet to take a guess at what we can look to expect. Looking at 2022, Sonos stuck to their word and delivered us 2 new products. So back in June, we saw the addition of Sonos' most compact and affordable soundbar option, the Sonos Ray, to add to their soundbar lineup. Admittedly, it hasn't been on the same level of hype as the Beam or Arc, but the Sonos Ray has still been a very welcomed addition to the Sonos ecosystem and gives extra choice within the range. And then, of course, in October, we also got treated to another subwoofer option in the shape of the Sonos Sub Mini, and wow, didn't it change the game? This compact and curved option stepped away from the traditional black box subwoofer design and gave us all a much needed affordable access point to impactful low end. It's really opened up a new layer of possibilities for home cinema enthusiasts and definitely secured its place as a staple addition to the Sonos lineup. So what's 2023 got to offer? Well, this is where things get really interesting. If you're not aware, this is Sonos' CEO Patrick Spence, and he's gone on record and said that the company will be looking to enter new naturally adjacent product categories to further diversify the business in the future, and we've been thinking about what that could mean. So prediction number 1 for 2023 has to be Sonos headphones. Now, I'm not 100% sure what naturally adjacent could mean specifically, but come on, it's hard to ignore the wireless headphone category, as Sonos' own design of headphones have been constantly rumoured for years now. I'm sure at this point we've all seen the schematic drawings of both over-ear and in-ear headphones that have been floating around the internet, but this is a theory that just doesn't seem to want to go away. So is 2023 going to be the year? Sonos Global Marketing and Communications VP also stoked the fire after revealing in a LinkedIn post that they were looking to hire a new ad agency to help create a new category for an established brand for the most ambitious projects in their history. Now, don't get me wrong, I know there's been a lot of talk about headphones in the past, but it feels like there could actually be some serious potential here. Now, the headphone market feels like a natural progression for Sonos, and I think that if they were to do it, it'll be a pair of headphones that somehow work within the Sonos ecosystem, which for existing Sonos users would be fantastic. And as we mentioned last year, they've still got Sonos' swap technology patented, so we could potentially be edging closer to having a pair of wireless headphones that can automatically shift playback to and from your existing Sonos setup seamlessly when you leave or enter your home, which would be awesome. There's also been talk online suggesting that any potential Sonos headphones could support both Bluetooth and Wi-Fi connectivity, which could also enable truly lossless streaming by removing the need for an additional Bluetooth device. Now, for us, this would need to be a non-negotiable. Now, I'm not going to get overexcited because, as we all know, it's the hope that kills you, but I have got to say, it does feel like we're getting closer to Sonos wireless headphones than we have ever been before, and if that's not a reason to be optimistic, then I don't know what is. Prediction number 2 is one that you've all been talking about, the rumoured Optimo 2, which is apparently set to become Sonos' best sounding speaker yet. Now, obviously, Optimo is a code name for this mystery product, but thanks to some work in progress rendering images and some information that was leaked by The Verge back in August, we can get a little idea of what we may be able to expect from this speaker if and when it gets released. The Optimo 2 seems to follow in the Sub Mini's footsteps by shifting away from traditional Sonos speakers design-wise. So, if the images are anything to go by, we're likely to see a dual-angled speaker that's somewhere in between the sizes of the Sonos 5 and Sonos 1. The rumours are that it's going to be filled with an array of drivers that fire in multiple directions, which opens up the possibility of an upward-firing driver of some sort in there somewhere, which I know is huge for a lot of you, especially if we can use it as a rear in our home cinemas. In fact, I think this was the number 1 thing you guys mentioned in our polls. It's also been leaked that this speaker will include twice as much RAM and 8 times the flash memory than any other other Sonos speaker currently on the market, suggesting that we're going to be getting a speaker that can pack a serious punch, whilst also having a whole host of future software development potential too. Some articles have implied that the Optimo is going to become the Swiss Army knife of Sonos speakers, and this could well be true. It looks as if it could be both Wi-Fi and Bluetooth enabled, whilst also potentially having USB-C line-in playback too. To be honest, if all of this is true, then I think it's going to be a really difficult product to nail down a specific role that we can expect it to play within the home, but I do think if I was to hazard a guess, I could see it being the successor of the Play 3 and sitting between the Sonos One and Sonos 5. But hey, it sounds like it's going to be able to do everything, and that's never a bad thing in my book. So, I'm excited for the Optimo 2, but apparently this is only half the story. It's also been suggested that the Optimo 2 is actually the lead product in a trio of speakers that Sonos are currently working on. So, could we be expecting an Optimo 1 and 1SL2? Well, Sonos love a good, better and best model, and this screams the format that the Optimo range may take shape of, and when you see articles like this popping up, it does make you wonder whether we're potentially going to see 7.2 channel surround sound with smaller satellite speakers from Sonos in the near future. Now, I think this might be a lot to ask from Sonos in 2023, so I can see us waiting a little while longer for that, but it is really exciting to see these sorts of ideas being thrown into the conversation with some real weight behind them. Prediction number 3 is a new Sonos Arc Soundbar, but no, I don't think this will be a Sonos Arc Gen 2. Now, it wouldn't be a what to expect video without discussing soundbars, especially when we've seen the Sonos Beam Gen 2 released in 2021 and the Sonos Ray in 2022. Naturally, some of you have been asking us, are we going to see an upgraded version of the Sonos Arc in 2023? And we all know how groundbreaking the Beam Gen 2 upgrade was, but I don't think 2023 will see a refresh of the Sonos Arc. It's still pretty young in its life cycle, but I do think that we may see an update in the form of an Arc SL. Now, this is already launched in the US, so it would make sense for it to join us in the UK. Look, it might not be as exciting as a brand new piece of tech, but the benefits of a mic-less version of the soundbar would make it a little bit cheaper, and of course, who doesn't like saving a little bit of cash? Prediction 4 is all about Sonos partnerships in 2023. It's no secret that Sonos have been working hard behind the scenes over the last 12 months, and we've seen multiple stories of them acquiring new companies and hiring new staff, which can only mean good things for us as users. One particularly notable acquisition was their purchase earlier this year of Dutch company Mate Holding BV, Holding BV, who apparently take a revolutionary approach to transducers. Sonos CEO Patrick Spence even said this about them: Mate's breakthrough in transducer technology will enable Sonos to take another leap forward in our product portfolio. This strategic acquisition gives us more incredible people, technology and intellectual property that will further distinguish the Sonos experience, enhance our competitive advantage, and accelerate our future roadmap. This sort of action from Sonos is more proof of intent to spread across to other product categories and a clear push to produce speaker technology that is even more compact and powerful than ever before. Another story that broke earlier this year, and one that I am really intrigued to see what will come of it, is Sonos were looking to hire multiple different staff members to work on a home theatre operating system project with job descriptions that hinted at being focused directly on a TV interface, and you really can start to get carried away with. Could this mean Sonos could be working on a Sonos home screen that incorporates all of your favourite video streaming services as well as your audio ones? I personally would love a Sonos favourite screen to store all of my different TV series that I watch on my Netflix, Amazon, Disney Plus, Apple TV Plus. Yeah, I know I have one too many subscriptions. And finally, why I think this could be a possibility is because Sonos already have thousands, if not millions, of soundbars connected to people's TVs via HDMI. In my opinion, Sonos have already had some great success with their home cinema systems, and it would make sense for them to play an even bigger role within your living rooms. But what do you guys think? It might be a stretch for 2023, but would you be keen for a Sonos media streaming platform? Let us know down in the comments below. Prediction number 5 is really a plea to Sonos. Give us center channel adjustments, please. The community has been asking for this for a while, but is 2023 going to be the year that we finally get some center channel adjustments for our soundbars? Look, I know Sonos's customizable EQ options are great, and I love the intuitiveness of the S2 app as a whole, but this does feel like an area that is lacking on the the interface. We've seen it from other brands like Bose, and I just can't understand why there isn't a specific option to tweak the clarity and volume of voices for Sonos audio yet. Of course, there's the speech enhancement button, but I do feel like this doesn't offer the same versatility that we have come to expect from Sonos. Now, don't get me wrong though, there is room to be optimistic, especially if we go back to the Optimo 2's projected 8 times bigger flash memory than the other Sonos products. Who knows, but this is something on my personal Sonos bucket list for sure. Okay, so I know I said 5, but I've got a sneaky last one for you. Sonos roams as rears. I know I've said this before, but so many of our responses were about smaller rears, and I think the simplest way of getting this is for Sonos to allow us to use roams as rears. Picture a future where you have the flexibility to have a pair of rears that don't need plugs directly on site and could be moved as and when you wanted to do so. Now, this might just be wishful thinking, but I think the commercial benefits of having multi-use surround sound speakers would be a great option for users with limited space or budget, but still want to experience 5.1 channel surround sound. For me, it feels like a no-brainer, but what do you guys think? Would you like to see roams as rears in 2023, or is that a step too far? My only concern with this one is that I'm not sure the roams would look natural as rears with their triangular shape, but for their budget and sound performance, they're the perfect solution for those looking to add rear surround channels at a more affordable price, and also perfect for more compact rooms. So that wraps up our 2023 Sonos predictions list, and as we mentioned earlier, it's all rumours at the moment and we could be way off the mark with them, but we'll just have to wait and see. Don't worry though, we'll be keeping ourselves up to date with all the latest Sonos news, so as soon as anything comes up, we'll make sure we let you know too. So make sure you let us know down in the comments below if there's anything you'd like to see or anything that we've missed off the list. We'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. We hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll catch you all in the new year.